Welcome back to Anonymous Repair. So today we have a Pioneer DJ Serato DDJ sb3. Complaint. I don't think you guys can see this. Is that this is not connected and these two is not working. So I'm hoping that I don't need to remove all these buttons. Got no idea how this thing opens. So let's remove the bottom case and then see what we've got on the inside. Just making sure that all the screws are the same length. So the bottom one feels it's not even connected to anything. The other two is not working. These are not, I don't know how to put this. Hope they are serviceable. If not, they need to be replaced. And the problem is that they're not always available if they need to be replaced. I think we'll need a microscope on this one. Probably 90% through all. I don't know what year this is either. The one thing, there's a lot of screws on this. That one we took out, that one we took out. This doesn't even feel like there's a screw in there. Nope. 3 left. Presume this will just lift out. And there we go. Okay. So it's a few board construction. This is just for the phone, so we'll actually need to take this off. And this one. And this one. It's all tied into plastic. This is just the headphone jack. So this slide, the ears are one that's not feeling if it's connected. This one here in the bottom. You need to remove this button. I'm not sure. This is gonna come off. Okay. Not sure I just broke that, but the only way to get it off. Don't see any other easy way of removing it. And I'm sure all these boards are soldered in. I'm not feeling very optimistic about these two either. Because they're on this main board and there's a lot of controls on that board. See if we can just pop this out. See what's going on the other side. This got no... It's how difficult it will be to remove this. One here, two mountings over there, and there should be two on the other side. Okay, so let's just desolder that from the board, because I think we're going to need to open it up to have a look at that slider, and we've got two problems here as well. So if the slider needs to be replaced, I'm not sure if we're going to find these sliders. Well, we're going to find out. That one's not going to work. It's way too small for this job. Apply some solder on that joint. These two on the bottom here. Cleaning the solder pump out. And in this one, and bend them over. It's not going to be easy. So we can get this. Well, that worked. If we bend the one and get the hole clean, maybe heat the other one up and just pull it out. Let's see. So it's already loose. Let's see this one as well. Oh, it just fell in now. So only can go in one way. Let's get this whole thing out of our way. Let's focus out there. This is very shiny, so it's got some clips on here. show you that. Those little metal tabs I just bent in. 10K pot. You need to do them a little bit more. I don't want to bend them completely in. I'm just straightening them out. The split should pop off. Okay, so the 10K showing this side, that's on our left side. You can remember which way it goes. And if this tracks or the carbon tracks are mangled, then obviously you've got no other options then to replace it. Actually, it's not looking that bad. It's get some IPA on that. It's crusty and it's dusty, obviously. That's why my little mixer's got a permanently cloth over it to shield it. This rub through on a center. Okay, so between here and here we should have 10K, and that one should be the center one. So get a multimeter software running so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Yeah, go to ohms. So if we go between these two pins, we get 10K, so that line is good. Between here and here we should have nothing. We should have continuity right till the end. We do. Okay, so that slider is actually not too bad. That's some of that sticky grease that makes this harder to move. Plus, this pin here is bent. But we don't do that. People's gonna be not happy with me on YouTube if I do that. Just get this straight. Now that looks better. Okay, these little contacts looks dirty as well. These little, it's got tiny little fingers on there. Let's get out all this dust from here. Just removing all the grime and dirt off this. We're going to need to use the microscope. I just want to have a look at that little connections in the bottom. Sorry for my arm. I'm just plugging in the microscope. It's going to stop OBS and start OBS again, otherwise it won't pick up the microscope, and then we'll get back to this. Okay, so let's have a look at this. These little fingers on here. We do have some bent ones. So I'm going to try straightening them out without breaking them. Oops. Try to get them all at the same level. Doesn't look too bad. These ones are all squished down. I forget. Well, they're too close to each other. See if we can. Looks good. Them at the same level. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Let's clean the housing and then put it back together again. Get some light back on there. So yeah, it's not nothing too important on here. Just take the worst dust off here. Looks good. Now this should go back like this, which means this one should be in the bottom. Just blowing that off. It says it's Alps. These all back into their holes. Still a little loose, but it should work. So we just need to open these up again. That should do. Okay. This side, I'm just pushing it down But when you open these, they should actually pull this plate closer to the little slider. It's still pretty loose. I don't think it should really be that hard anyway. So if we probe that one and probe this one, we get our 10K. Doesn't matter where we slide this little slider. But when we probe either one of those two with this one, the one side we should get 10K. And sliding it down, it goes down to 17 ohms. Right back up to 10K. So it seems to be working. That's all that we can do. We have a video here, so that's good reference. So if it's not working or not a problem, you can see we can get some replacements, but I think they are length dependent. Now remember, these are not cheap either. So that will be 85, 6, 7, 8, 80, 88 moles. 88 by 16. So if we need to replace it, it's 88 by 16 millimeters, obviously. All right. So I think we can solder this one back. I'm not going to bend it over like they did. It's unnecessary. I just want to get them halfway in. Halfway soldered up. Apply pressure on this side. Push it through. There we go. Solder this one. This one. And we can solder it to anchor points in the center. There we go. Okay, so this one we can actually completely put back. And then not mess up the screw or the plastic where you're gonna screw in and screw out these stuff. This plastic won't last. There we go. Just hear that click. You know, it's a line back. Yeah, I just felt a little click on that one. Okay, now for the next one. It's not going to be that easy. Well, it's definitely a bit better. Now for these two, the channel level, that's not going to be the easy one. Let's put all these to left. They line up all on the marks. And these really sits on here. That's a lot of force. Okay, they are keyed, so that's a good sign. I don't even know. I'm sure there's some software we can test this. It's a mixing DJ desk, so I'm sure there will be some software on Pioneer's site or something that we can have a look at. And I think we're going to need to remove this top one. There we go. Now it's these two here in the bottom. I mean, stuck. See some special tool that you need to unhook this. Even though it's not doing anything. Ah, I think I found the secret. It looks like this white piece picks up. You need to do it on both sides. Okay, the first one I broke. I mean, that's just part of the learning experience. So we pull these tabs up on both sides. This little locking pin comes off, this comes off, and this slides out. What a complex button. Okay, so let's look on these two sliders, which I presume are these ones here, double sliders. Okay, so what I'm going to do, heat up those points, all of them, because you need to clean them anyway, because I'm sure they are dirty. It's part of them why they're not working, and we need to check the condition of those sliders. Okay. Oops, missed that one completely. These two. They should all be loose. Yep, that side is loose. Just making sure all the pins are loose. That one is still soldered on there. Some braid. That should pop off now as well. Yep, that one's completely done. You see this one as well. I'm just doing this on the boards so we don't have to mess around with wires in the bottom trying to remove this. So I'll also be measuring the size of this one, so if we need to get replacements we can. That side is loose, and that one is loose. Now, I think that you need to remove this plate completely. There's going to be a couple of screws. Yeah. I'm not counting, but there's a load of screws on here. I'm not even sure how this rotating encoder works. Not sure if we need to take the rotating encoder out. I'm sure there's no current running through this really. I think this is mostly digital. I need to remove these two as well. That's just a holder for the PCB. Yes, tons of screws on this board. I'm sure you pay 90% of this value of this DJ thing is just screws. The highest number is 30. Yeah, 31, 32. Could be about around if they have 32 screws. Get my hand empty again. I'm seeing number one. I'm sure we're far from done. You need to remove this control board in the back. This board over here. I'm sorry I can't get this whole thing into frame, it's quite huge. This screw's loose anyway. Right, there's more. No surprise. You need to remove those two ribbon cables as well. Maybe we don't. Maybe we can just get this board high enough to remove those potentiometers. Excuse me. found number 7. Okay, so remove this one and this one. Okay, I'll just pull out connectors, put that to the side, see if we can, without breaking this board, lift this up. We've got one over here and one over here. So these are dual sliders. They seem to be the same. They're also both 10Ks, 806, yep, 806 10Ks. So get the rest of this board's out of our way. Alright. So these are double ones, which means that's why I got 2 pins on here and 2 pins on there. So we should be able to measure 10K over here, but it's also branded Alps. Oops. Alps as well, branded. I'm not sure if they are Alps. Confused with that though. We're going to need to grip it with these. So there's one left down here. This is not the easy one to get to. Okay, so we got that plate removed. And straighten these up. See how these ones look from the inside. I'm sure they're going to be pretty dirty as well. Not too bad. They have a little bit of liquid damage on there. Just remember we took this off this way, so these 2 connectors is close to that one. Let's put some IPA in there. Let's get another clean one. Still seeing some dirt in there. Okay, they look good. Didn't see any cracks or breaks in them. Let's blow them out. Connectors look good. We can just wipe one way. That should do. Remember correctly, this went this way. And then we can have this one tested out as well. Just do two opposite sides. We'll clamp it in so it doesn't want to spring out on us. Let's do this one as well. You won't be able to open this much, because as soon as you open it too much, you would break these connectors off with these little tabs. So next time you'd need to replace them. It feels way smoother than it used to. Okay, so what we can do is test them out. Other ones were more convenient. Maybe we just get the size as well. $13 megs. These are broken. $10K. Sounds about right. It's still $10K. 10K. 10K. $10K. Should have a few ohms on here. This one side is gone. This one side of the track is gone. Just do a check on this one. See if we have the same result. Open. Nothing. $10K. $10K. Yep. So this one's also gone. Let's clean them up a bit and see what happens. $23 ohms. That should give us $10K. That's correct. Okay, so this is the center pin, and then these two are the sliders. Let's see what happens. We go between this one. We got megs. We've got megs on this. This can't be right. OL. OL. No, just a mirror pair, or not a mirror pair, but a pair. So both sides should read both the same. So both of these are unfortunately dead. Let's see. 60 by 9. Okay, so right, so after searching around, I actually found this slide potentiometer. Now, the only place I could find this is RS Components, the stock number 154-8238. So we measured this as 60, but they don't measure it like that. What they do is they say slide length. So you see I've got 2 marks on there, which is the center of the potentiometer, the sliding potentiometer. You see it's 45 millimeters. So 45 millimeters is the travel length, and then it's 8 millimeters wide, which is right. And then when I look at the data sheet, it says it's a 60 mil. So this is 45 mil travel. This one side is definitely dead, so these need to be replaced. They are not cheap, they're about 80 Rand each. So for these two will just be 160 Rand. The other one looks fine, so you can either try and see if that one works, or so I'll need to speak to the customer before I purchase these, and then after that I'll get back to you guys and see what the customer says. Fortunately, there's no other way of fixing these, so that's our problem. So the carbon tracks on this side are both gone, both of these sliders. So between here and here is a 10k resistor basically, and then this pin changes the resistance between these 3 pins. So just 10k, and then if it's the sliders on that side, you'll get 0. If the sliders on this side between the center pin and that pin, you'll get 0 and 10k between these pins. So if it's halfway, you should have 5, 5, and 5, and then 5 between these two. And we are not getting that. You show this quite easily. Between here and here we should have 10k's. We've got meg ohms. That's an open line. Between here and here we should have about 5k's. We're still in the meg ohms. And between here and here, between these two we should have 5k, and we don't have anything. So it's not an easy thing to test. We don't have anything, and we should have a reading over there. So if we leave this in a center, you'll say we'll have about 5k here, and then between this one and this one. Yep, sorry, this and this one have had the same value. So unfortunately those two are bad. Right, I'll leave this here for now. Like I said, I need to speak to the customer, and then so about a week passed, and I eventually received the parts for this DJ mixer, scratcher, whatever you want to call it. That's the part number, if somebody is interested. These are genuine Alpines, or Alfs, which is made by Alpine. It's got a nice slide. This is just loose. And they look pretty much similar. Shaft looks the same. Alright, so these are the old ones. Let's have a quick look at what the multimeter is saying. I remember we had one side that was open. 6K was the other side. Yeah. So we had that side that was open. So let's just swap this the same way. I should have a reading here. 10K, that's good. We should have a reading on this one. Just slide it over there. 10K. So yeah, so that's the broken ones. I bought one for the main slider as well. This is not Alps. This is this generic one, which I think will maybe fit there, but we'll have a look at that when we get there. So let's make sure this is the new one. Get them both out. Just want to tidy up the pins here. Yeah. Alright, so let's just put this to one side, and let's get that mixer on here, or DJ control console, I don't know what you call it. I'm just going to start the soldering irons along. Right, this should be it. Remember, we remove them from here. I don't want to move this too much around because of the cables and stuff that it's attached. Let's see if this is going to fit in there. That's a perfect match. Right, so let's replace those two sliders. I really need to clean my bench for a change. Make sure they're fully seated. And just a pin on each side. I'm just going to push up. One's in. How did I just misplace the other one? Need to tighten up the bench. So I just soldered 2 pins. Let's do the same on this one. I've got no idea how to use this. Just soldering these pins back. Look, I added no flux to this. So I'm going to remove this one again. Let's see if I can make that one fit on there. Okay. That should be the new one soldered. Get everything aligned again and back into position. There we go. Just fell in. And now I have to do all these screws back up. I don't know if I'm gonna show all these screws going back in. Because there's quite a bit of them. If I remember correctly, it was 2 plates here as well. Just make sure we don't trap the solder there. I think there was a piece of PC board as well somewhere. You guys can't see this. Just move it that way. Maybe let's get some extra light on here. Maybe it's not so dark. mark around the edges. There we go. Just a long, boring, tedious job of putting in screws. I've downloaded the software, so we'll see if we can maybe see the sliders moving on the computer or something like that. Like I said, I'm no sound or DJ expert whatsoever. I think these holes were for the plate. Even firmware updates for this. Crazy. Never thought that I'll be working on one of these. Also don't use too much temperature on these boards because they are not fiberglass boards. They're not the best quality boards. Got an amp I need to fix as well. So sooner or later we'll have a video about the amplifier. It's not a big fault, it's just a common fault on this type of amplifier. So if you guys keep a lookout for it, I'll have to do it one of these days. And reorganize my bench. And then after they stole my phone, yeah, now we're sitting with crappy quality video, so I'm sorry about that. Anyway, it's one of those things. You have to start looking for the holes where we're still missing screws. Still a couple of down there. I think that other board went down there. I think that board is just for some support. Oops. Yeah, quarter screwdriver. That will be the answer for something like this. So I left that one out to see if that if this one matches lengthwise, we maybe need to mod it a little bit. Maybe we have to open those old ones and again, and let's have a look, see if we can find a break in the track. And that will be quite interesting to show you the failure point in those bots. They only got a lifetime anyway. Got so much hours and then they're done for. Group pile is getting lower. Then we got another plate. I want to do that one uptight so we can still adjust the plate. Yeah, sorry for not posting. My motivation was not much day off that whole phone incident, so I do apologize. Sometimes it just seems that person can't win. So I'm not going to do that one. Let's see if we can get that one to fit. I'm still messing around with my sound settings as well, because I think it's cuts too much background noise, and I think that messes around with some of the stuff. Okay, so that should go in there. This was where again? Ah, just over there. Okay. So we got the springs on that side, so this one goes here. Make sure there's no damage to the ribbon cable. Line it up. Down. Got another one over here. Make sure there's no damage to the edge. If there's damage to the edge, you can pull these little contacts back. Line them up. Secure it in. There's no catch or anything. This is purely just a press fit or friction fit. I think it's the correct term to use. I'm sure it took longer to take this apart and putting it back together. Anyway, could be your imagination. Or sometimes it feels like a trip out to somewhere so long to get there, and when you get there on the way back, you see, oh, I'm back home again. Time flies when you're getting go back home for some reason. So maybe this is the same effect. Well, it takes the same time. So one more. And one more over there. And I'll just drop that screw. Okay, so what do we have left here? 1, 2, 3 on them, and 3 on them. So 6 white screws. 2, 4, 5, and plus the one I dropped. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. So what I want to see, no, this is not going to work. This is way too small. Okay, but this one is working, so unfortunately I can't do that one. That's not the right one. I couldn't find something really that matched, so I was looking at the travel and stuff, but yeah, that's not gonna work. That one wasn't expensive. It was really cheap one. But the other two, they were about 100 rand each. It's 4, yeah. Missing 2 screws. Okay, let's see if I can find it now. I'll just pause this video and then continue once I've found all the missing screws. So I've got 2 missing there. Alright, so found the drawer I dropped. Alright, so that's all that. Ah, we're going to be confident. Just making sure nothing is loose inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 3, 5, 10, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh. Need to find 1 screw. It should be somewhere on my desk. They're not the right screwdriver for this job, but anyway. Two, four, six, 2, 4. Oops, bumping the microphone there. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, so there wasn't a screw in there, that's correct. So I have the right amount of screws. No, there's no hole there. Fake hole. Three more. At least they're all the same size. Yep, that one's in the roll. This one does have a screw hole. There it goes. Okay, let's put all the buttons back. And then I have to disconnect my meter. It feels nice. Okay, let's see how just this stuff worked. Was it something like that? And then like that. Yep. Oh wait, maybe. Oh yeah. This slides on there. This goes on there. And this locks everything together. There we go. Alright. Show you what I'm doing. So this little plastic thing goes in. Make sure I've got it the right way around. Yep. Yes, that's correct. This goes here. This one goes there. And this thing locks everything in place. Okay, hopefully all these little knobs are only can go on one way, so they are keyed. So I don't lose one of them. These 3 sliders takes the most abuse, so I presume this one is the browse one. Excuse me. So I've got no idea how this thing works. So I'm going to plug it in. And then we're going to lose the multimeter. Anyway, I don't need it anymore. We could kill that. And this is the cable. I'm just looking for the software I downloaded now. Oh, you know what? I just cleaned my download folder because it was running out of space. So okay, setting up device. It's looking good. Just making sure my camera is still running because of I just plugged in a USB thing. So I was going to install the software quickly. Serato DJ Lite. I'll show you guys the software as soon as got it up and running. And if it doesn't take over my whole computer, so you have to sign into the software. Reopening it. So it sees the browser and then it uses the browser to log in. What were the days you can just download a simple piece of software, install it on your computer and use it? If I can minimize this. I'll have to go see. Um, see what was my login details. Okay. I'm just gonna pause this quickly. So I've got no idea how to work this thing. Plus, if I've got OBS open, OBS takes this thing open. I can't connect to the software. So yeah, so can't test it. The lights and stuff all works, but yeah, got no idea. So that will be it. So we'll see how to replace your sliders on a Pioneer DJ Serato sb3. So thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.